Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have just drawn 0-0 with Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Manchester United drop points yet again, and the title is fading away. It weren't the best of games, to be quite honest with you. I thought Wan-Bissaka played well for us. He did have a good opportunity in the game, just went wide. I think at times he got forward well, and defensively he was good because he made some good interceptions. He also made a very imperative block, I think, from Willian. I thought Fred also played well for us. He had a very, very good chance, produced a very, very good save from Leno. I think that was in the first half. And I thought he kept things tidy in that midfield. And he retrieved the ball well, did Fred. Luke Shaw, he had a pretty good game as well. I thought he got forward well in the game. And defensively, he was quite good. You know, Luke Shaw has really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Marcus Rashford, he carved a few openings in that first half, but I thought he was wasteful. Rashford had a great chance towards the end of the first half. Rashford should have hit it first time when that ball got played to him. But he just took too long on the ball and obviously allowed Arsenal to get back. But yeah, Rashford did have a few chances in the game. Edinson Cavani, he obviously started today. Cavani had two big chances in the game as well. One of them chances was an overhead kick that just went wide. Scott McTominay, he came off injured in the game. I thought McTominay was poor anyway when he was on the pitch. We brought two substitutions on in the game. We saw Anthony Martial come on and we saw Mason Greenwood come on. Arsenal had their chances as well. I think the best chance of the game was from Lacazette when he hit the crossbar from that free kick. Lacazette had a chance in the first half. Straightforward save for David De Gea. I thought Lacazette had a pretty good game for Arsenal, but he went down to the floor countless times. And he was limping off Lacazette at the end of the game. Smith Rowe, he had a good chance, produced a good save from David De Gea. I thought Smith Rowe had a good game for Arsenal. Nicolas Pepe also looked dangerous. He had a couple of chances. Obviously had the one that produced a very good block, I think, from Harry Maguire. And obviously had the one that just went wide. Willian obviously came on in the game. I thought he made a fantastic impact for Arsenal when he came on. David Luiz did very, very well defensively. He actually got man of the match, David Luiz. And David Luiz also made a good headed clearance from our free kick. Gabriel Martinelli, I also thought he did well for Arsenal, especially in that first half defensively. He was very, very good. So yeah, there were some good performers for Arsenal. Bruno Fernandes, as the game went on, he grew into the game. Bruno Fernandes actually had a good chance in that first half. Obviously had the shot, just went wide. Bruno Fernandes hasn't been at his best in recent weeks. And don't get me wrong, in most of his games at Man United, he has been very, very consistent. You know, Bruno Fernandes has been at the club a year today. Bruno Fernandes won Player of the Month for December, but he's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. But Bruno Fernandes recently denied that he needs a rest. Solskjaer actually said prior to the Fulham game that Fernandes does not need a rest, and he defended him. Paul Pogba, I thought he was pretty quiet in the game today. Obviously, he was playing on the left. He was in more of an advanced role. Didn't really see much of Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba was also pretty poor in the game against Sheffield United, but his performances prior to them two games recently have actually been very, very good. You know, there is still a chance that Paul Pogba could leave Man United in the summer. Fabrizio Romano recently said that a transfer away from Man United is still on the cards, because he mentioned that Mino Raiola had been planning a move for Paul Pogba next summer. But it said, I think after the Fulham game, that Paul Pogba is considering making a U-turn at the club. That means staying at Man United. I think his future is on hold till the end of the season, but there's a possibility, chance he could sign a long-term contract at the football club. Earlier on this season, we triggered that one-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract on Man United till June 2022. And Mino Raiola told 2Sport last month that his client's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intention of signing a new contract. And obviously Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement, because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. But he has had a long-running transfer saga as Paul Pogba. You know, he's been linked to a move to PSG in recent weeks. Said the other week that Mino Raiola was talking with PSG. And it mentioned that Pochettino identified Paul Pogba as his top target. He's been relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid, and there's been narratives of him possibly going back to Juventus. Actually, Fabrizio Romano revealed the 4 players that Juventus offered us, you know, to try and get Paul Pogba. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing, because we paid £89 million for him. But yeah, we just can't beat the big teams this season. That has been proven. And it's another 0-0 again. You know, 0-0 today against Arsenal. 0-0 against Liverpool the other week at Anfield. 0-0 against Man City earlier on in the season. 0-0 against Chelsea earlier on in the season. So that just shows you that we are not scoring enough goals. And you know, a lot of our games this season, when we've won, it's been by 1 goal. And that is obviously not good enough. We are now winless in our last 3 Premier League games. The good news is we have set a club record. We are unbeaten in our last 18 Premier League away games. We haven't lost away from home in the league for over a year. But we've actually been very, very poor at Old Trafford this season. We've lost, 5 games at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. And I was disappointed, you know, when we lost to Sheffield United 2-1, because, you know, we lost to the worst team in the Premier League, because Sheffield United are rock bottom. You know, it was Sheffield United's first win at Old Trafford since 1973, and that was just their second win this season and their first Premier League away win. We was absolutely abysmal against Sheffield United, so I actually wanted to see a response today. You know, we've not yet beaten Arsenal in the Premier League under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And Solskjaer has still not yet beaten Mikel Arteta as Manchester United manager. Mikel Arteta and Solskjaer have had 3 appearances now against each other. You know, Arteta's won 2, and obviously there's been 1 draw between them. You know, obviously Arsenal won this game last season, 2-0 at the Emirates. They beaten us at Old Trafford earlier on this season, 1-0. That was their first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League since 2006. Probably Arsenal will be more pleased with the draw than us. I said it was going to be a tough game, this, against Arsenal, because Arsenal have been in form in the league recently. And like I've said, they've had a good record against us at the Emirates in recent years. Obviously, Arsenal had that setback against Southampton in the Cup last weekend. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, there was a lot of Arsenal fans that were demanding Mikel Arteta out, reflecting how inconsistent Arsenal were, because earlier on in the season they were facing a relegation battle. You know, there was actually sitting 15th at one point. I think there's a lot of Arsenal fans that are now Mikel Arteta in. You know, Mikel Arteta has been Arsenal manager for over a year now. Won his first trophy as Arsenal manager last season, and that was the FA Cup. Arsenal have won the FA Cup 14 times, so Arsenal are the most successful team in FA Cup history. And Mikel Arteta has made some good signings since he took over at Arsenal. Obviously, Arteta brought Pablo Mari in. He brought Cedric Soares in. He brought Willian in. Obviously brought Martin Odegaard in. He obviously came on in the game today to make his debut. I presume he's going to be Arsenal's new number 10. Obviously he brought Gabriel Magalhaes in as well, did Mikel Arteta. I think he's done very, very well for Arsenal. Obviously he recommended Thomas Partey in. He's made a fantastic impact at Arsenal. By the way, Arsenal, I think we're missing, was it 3 key players in today's game? Obviously there was no Kieran Tierney because he was out with injury. I do rate Kieran Tierney a lot, but he is injury prone. Sustained a few injuries at Arsenal. I also rated Tierney a lot, you know, when he was at Celtic. Obviously, there was no Aubameyang because of personal reasons. Obviously, his mother's been having health issues. And there was another player, Pablo Mari, he was also out for them as well. And obviously Dani Ceballos. But I don't think Dani Ceballos is one of their key players. Mikel Arteta is Arsenal's 3rd manager since Wenger. Obviously before they had Arteta, they had Freddie Ljungberg in on a temporary basis. And before they had Freddie Ljungberg, they had Unai Emery. Unai Emery endured 18 months with Arsenal, and then after that Arsenal sacked him. Arteta is inheriting some players from the Unai Emery era. And obviously Arsenal had Arsene Wenger, and he endured 22 years with them, Wenger. So like I said, you know, weren't the best of games today, but I said that Arsenal Man United's always a big game. You know, it was always a massive game, you know, when we had Ferguson and when they had Arsene Wenger. You know, Wenger and Ferguson are the 2 longest serving managers. Arsenal, by the way, like I've said to you, have let quite a few players go. Obviously, they loaned William Saliba out. They loaned Guendouzi out. They loaned Lucas Torreira out. Socrates recently left them. In recent years, you know, Lichtstein has left them. Koscielny's left them. Danny Welbeck's left them. I think Jack Wilshere left Arsenal under the Unai Emery era. Ozil obviously left them. Ozil was a long-serving player for Arsenal. I think he enjoyed around, 7.5 years with them. They obviously lost Aaron Ramsey. They lost Sami Nasri. They had Theo Walcott at one point as well, and they lost him. Don't forget, we've done business with Arsenal before. Back in 2012, we got Robin Van Persie off them. And in 2018, we got Alexis Sanchez off them. Mustafi, there's obviously rumours of him leaving Arsenal. Apparently Liverpool want him. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, there's also been narratives of him possibly leaving as well. Don't forget, back in 2004, Arsenal were the Invincibles because, they went undefeated all season in the Premier League. So yeah, our next game is Southampton. That's a must-win game for Manchester United. And Southampton's not going to be easy either because I think Southampton have enjoyed a pretty good season. Ralph Hasenhüttl has really turned them around. Southampton have not beaten us at Old Trafford since 2016. Obviously, the game at Old Trafford last season was 2-2. We did come from behind to beat them at St Mary's earlier on in the season. We did beat them 3-2. And after Southampton, it is Everton. And then after Everton, it's West Ham in the Cup. So games are coming up thick and fast for us. By the way, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was overheard shouting in today's game that Cedric Soares cannot defend. Because obviously Cedric Soares played in the game today. I haven't watched yet what Solskjaer's had to say about the game. He'll obviously pinpoint out, the chances that, we did have in that game. Donny van de Beek, he didn't play any part today. Again, Donny van de Beek could end up leaving the football club in the summer because of his lack of opportunities. Donny van de Beek has only started 2 games in the Premier League for us. And that was against West Ham and Southampton. Most of his appearances have come from the bench. Solskjaer did make an admission prior to the game against Liverpool in the FA Cup, and he said that Van de Beek's unhappy with his lack of playing time. But then Solskjaer promised that Donny van de Beek will get more game time at Manchester United. Now, he said earlier on this window from ESPN, that's where it was stemming from, saying that we rejected several loan offers for Donny van de Beek. We need to give him more chances because Donny van de Beek is actually a good player. You can play him in 3 different roles. You can put him as a box-to-box midfielder, you can put him as a number 10, and you can also put him out wide. He was predominantly a box-to-box midfielder during his time at Ajax. We got him in a deal worth £40 million. We paid £35 million up front, and there was £5 million in add-ons. And Ronald de Boer urged Donny van de Beek to leave the club, to boost his chances for the Euros. Eric Bay, he didn't play any part in today's game. I don't actually know why, because Solskjaer confirmed that he had travelled Eric Bay. We should have started Bay ahead of Victor Lindelof, because I prefer Bay ahead of Lindelof, but my element of concern about Bay, he is too injury prone. But since he started playing again, Bay's put some very, very good performances out. He's been effective in the air. He's intercepted well. He's made good blocks. He's showed that ability to play out from the back. you know. On my next video, I will be giving you my player ratings from this game. I don't think we should have brought Martial on in the game. It was good that obviously he didn't start, you know, because a lot of Man United fans have been saying that he needs to be dropped. Because Martial has been out of form this season. You know, he has had chances, he just hasn't, you know, converted them. Actually, prior to this game, Solskjaer gave advice to Martial over improving his form. But Martial was actually good last season. I think he scored like 23 goals in 48 appearances, and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. You know, Martial's been at the club now over 5 years. By the way, Amad Diallo Traore made his debut for the under-23s against Liverpool. I think he actually scored twice in the game today. I don't think it'll be too long now before Amad Diallo Traore makes his first team debut, because Solskjaer did say not so long ago that he could be part of the first team squad in the next few weeks. Obviously, he's taken Jesse Lingard's place. You know, we got Amad Diallo Traore in a deal worth £37 million. Obviously, with add-ons included, because we paid £19 million up front. But yeah, against Southampton, we have got to get back to winning ways. Yes, I am still Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in. You know, despite us being winless in our last 3 league games, I'm still not going to change my perception on Ole. I don't know if he is the long-term manager for Manchester United. Obviously, time will tell. But Solskjaer is going to be given at least another season at the club. And this is his second full season at the moment. I think we will finish in the top 4 this season. I can assure that. I'm very sceptical we'll finish outside of the top 4. But we need to win a trophy this season, and Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. And like I said, there's 3 trophies we can pursue this season: the Premier League, the FA Cup and the Europa League. You know, we won't win the Premier League, but I was saying the same. I've said the same thing for the vast majority of this season. I'm very, very sceptical that we are gonna win it. You know, we are still in the title race despite us dropping points again today. But like I say, City have got that game in hand, so it's now advantage City, and City beat Sheffield United today 1-0. Probably City are going to win it this season, to be honest with you, because they've just come out of nowhere. But I think we'll win another title at some point, maybe next season, next couple of seasons. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. You know, Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now for over 2 years. Like I said, we appointed him in December 2018, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We give Solskjaer the job permanently, reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. A lot of people said we did give him the job too early. My biggest concern about Solskjaer is his decision making, like I've said on videos before, because he does get his selections wrong in games, but there's also been games where he has showed tactical flexibility. Will Man United extend Solskjaer's contract? Solskjaer did actually confirm prior to the Sheffield United game that there has been no discussions over getting him a new contract at the football club. He's got 18 months left on his current contract now. But I think we deserve credit for sticking with Solskjaer, because he could have easily have been sacked as Manchester United manager, because we have enjoyed bad periods under him. You can say we're enjoying a pretty bad period recently, you know, because like I said, we're winless in our last 3 league games. So we've got to get back in form again. And Solskjaer, was lucky not to be sacked after his getting knocked out of the Champions League. He was lucky not to be sacked after his losing 6-1 to Tottenham earlier on this season. He was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season because we enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And I think, this is another transfer market where Solskjaer has been let down again. Solskjaer has not been backed enough in the transfer windows he's enjoyed at Man United so far because, we ain't got all the players that he wanted to recommend in. And this January transfer window has been Solskjaer's, 5th transfer window as Man United manager and his 4th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. But Solskjaer did recently say, didn't he, that he's not expecting any signings before this transfer window closes and the transfer window shuts tomorrow. And I've given you the 3 areas where I think Man United need to strengthen up. I think we need a striker, we need a midfielder, world-class midfielder, and we also need a centre-half. We need someone to go alongside Harry Maguire because Lindelof is not on Harry Maguire's level, and Eric Bailly is a good centre-half, but he is too injury-prone. So, in this January transfer window, we have been focusing a lot more on the outgoings. And quite a few players have left Man United recently. Obviously, we saw Jesse Lingard go out on loan to West Ham until the end of the season. West Ham paid a loan fee of 1.5 million. And they've covered Jesse Lingard's wages. Solskjaer insists that Lingard does have a future at Man United, when he comes back from his loan spell with West Ham. And, Lingard is reuniting with David Moyes. Yeah, it was 0-0. Facundo Pellistri, he's gone out on loan to Alves. Solskjaer did confirm it was likely he was going to go out on loan. Recently, Odion Ighalo said his farewells to the club. Timothy Fosu-Mensah, he left earlier on in this window to join Bayer Leverkusen. We made the right decision getting rid of him. And Solskjaer confirmed that Marcos Rojo is going to leave the club before this transfer window shuts. Rojo is on the verge of joining Boca Juniors. Rojo has not made an appearance for us since November 2019. We did get Rojo back in 2014 from Sporting Lisbon. So Rojo has been at Man United for 6.5 years. His contract does expire at the end of this season. Last season he was out on loan with Estudiantes. More players I think will leave Man United in the summer. I think Juan Mata could leave in the summer. Because last time I read up about that, it said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer admits that Juan Mata's future is uncertain. And he said that Juan Mata was closing in on an exit because his current contract expires in June. Like I said, Pogba, there's still a chance he could leave in the summer. Daniel James, don't forget there has been narratives of him leaving because he's lost his place in the team, and there was obviously rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan because Brandon Williams is our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. Solskjaer did confirm that Sergio Romero was free to leave in this window. I haven't really heard much about him, to be honest with you. But yeah, Solskjaer did say recently that, more fringe players could leave Man United before this window shuts. But like I've said, I think the board has been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've also overpaid for players, and I don't think the board have backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson left. But Woodward, has promised Solskjaer, that he will back him, and he said towards the end of last year that he will back him with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. Even when we endured bad periods under Solskjaer, Ed Woodward still assured that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe, because our board have got a soft stance on him, like I've said so many times, with Solskjaer being a club legend. But there's positives to take from Solskjaer's tenure so far. He's got us to the 5th round of the FA Cup. It'd be nice to win the FA Cup, because we haven't won it since 2016, with the second most successful team in FA Cup history. Earlier on in the season, got us to the EFL Cup semi-final, lost that to City. Solskjaer did well last season in his first full season at the club. And despite our reluctance to back him with transfers, I think he's still made good signings as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.